Hello and welcome to another episode of Humans in 5. Keeping to a theme with personal updates, I thought I could tell you a little bit about a part of my life that's becoming more frequent for other people around the world these days: the long-distance relationship. My husband Kyle and I have been together for 12 years. We started as a couple living in two different cities. I was in Toronto and he lived in London, Ontario, about a 2-hour bus trip away from Toronto. We saw one another as often as we could, usually once a month. The rest of the time we kept in touch via messaging or video chat, and every now and then we'd write letters to each other. The furthest we were apart was at the beginning of my master's degree, when I lived on the west coast of Canada and he was still living in the Toronto area. We didn't see one another for about 5 months at a time, until he moved with me to the west coast in the later half of my degree. And let me tell you, the opportunity to finally be able to wake up next to one another after about 5 years together was pretty welcome. The long-distance relationship is not something that unique these days. About 70% of university students in North America are in a long-distance romance. And in Canada in 2013, nearly 1 in 3 adults between the ages of 20 and 24 were in long-distance relationships. The reasons for not living together range from different locations for studies or for work training. Maybe one member of the couple might be in the military or a job that requires lots of traveling. Perhaps one person might have to care for a sick family member. And some couples might be doing this for months, or they might be doing this for years. At its core, the long-distance relationship is tough because the person who you want to be with all the time isn't there physically. Of course, with today's internet and phone use, you can be connected in a way that wasn't available even 20 years ago. But you don't get a cuddle when you want one, or the chance to share a fun night out with someone you love at the drop of a hat. The long-distance relationship is something that feels extra personal for me as an academic researcher too. Academics might experience what's known as the two-body problem, where one member of the couple gets an academic position that doesn't work for the other member of the couple. It might be getting a job with a long commute, or sometimes getting a job in another country. In my previous special on the sessional shuffle, which you can watch here, I talked about just how hard getting a position as an academic is, which makes the potential for getting into a long-distance relationship all the more likely. The two-body problem, and by extension the potential for loving from afar, is also something that seems to impact men and women differently. A 2016 study by Marta Murray-Close found that when men in heterosexual married couples have an advanced degree, the couple is more likely to move somewhere together. Whilst when women are the ones with an advanced degree, they're more likely to live separately. This might also affect the way that other people see how your relationship works. I found that when I explained that Kyle and I were moving to another country so that I could pursue my PhD, some people hinted that I was being selfish and not allowing my husband to lead us as a couple. I wonder if they would have said the same thing if it was Kyle who was the one doing his PhD. So what are the best ways to tackle a long-distance relationship? Finding a way to communicate consistently is key, whether it's texting or regular video chats. Find ways to share really mundane things, like cooking a meal or folding your laundry. Also, remember that you don't have to do something special every time you see one another. Maybe you do just want to be together instead of having to go to a party or go to a restaurant. And remember, what is really important is that whatever you do together works for the both of you. So that's it from me, and I'll see you next time on Humans in 5. And don't forget to subscribe!